The modern world did not appear by accident. Its laws, its freedoms, its science, its rights, its institutions all grew from a very specific set of values. Values that began in small ancient cities, survived empires, reshaped nations, and eventually transformed the entire planet. This is not the story of countries, not the story of kings. This is the story of values, ideas about truth, freedom, responsibility, and human potential that built the modern world. Number 1, the Greek breakaway, the birth of reason. Before Greece, most civilizations believed the same thing. Truth came from gods, rulers, or tradition. Then Greece broke the pattern. In the open air of Athens, something revolutionary happened. People started questioning the world, questioning leaders, questioning traditions, even questioning their own beliefs. Socrates asked uncomfortable questions. Plato searched for perfect forms. Aristotle studied nature with logic and observation. The Greeks introduced 3 values that changed history: reason, debate, and individual thought. Truth was no longer inherited. Truth had to be discovered. This single shift created philosophy, mathematics, early science, and logic. The Western mind was born from a culture that allowed people to argue, explore, and think freely. Number 2, Rome turns ideas into engines, the power of order. If Greece created ideas, Rome built systems. The Romans didn't ask, "What is truth?" They asked, "What will last?" So they built a civilization on predictability, predictable law, predictable rights, predictable contracts, predictable justice. You knew what you owned. You knew what you owed. You knew what you could build. You knew what was protected. Rome introduced the second Western value: order above rulers, rules stronger than individuals. This idea became the backbone of courts, citizenship, property rights, legal contracts, government structures. When Rome fell, its stones crumbled, but its legal mind survived. Today's Western institutions still carry Roman fingerprints. Number 3, the moral revolution, the value of the individual. Greece gave reason, Rome gave structure, but something essential was still missing: a moral center. Judeo-Christian thought introduced a radical idea. Every person has dignity. Every life has worth. Every human is morally equal. In a world built on caste, hierarchy, and slavery, this was revolutionary. Moral value no longer depended on birth or status. It came from simply being human. This idea eventually shaped human rights, charity, equality before the law, the protection of the weak, abolition movements. Whether one believes in religion or not, Western morality rests on a profound belief: the individual matters. 4. The medieval transformation. Knowledge survives. The Middle Ages were not the Dark Ages. They were a slow but powerful transformation. Monasteries preserved ancient manuscripts. Cathedrals became centers of learning. And most importantly, the world's first universities appeared. Bologna, Paris, Oxford. These weren't schools. They were intellectual factories. Students studied law, logic, medicine, theology, philosophy. Debate became a structured method. Knowledge became a disciplined pursuit. One more Western value emerged: institutional learning. Knowledge was no longer the property of a few. It became a system that could be passed on, expanded, and refined. 5. The Renaissance. Curiosity returns. After centuries of survival, Europe rediscovered ambition. Artists studied anatomy, geometry, and perspective. Engineers sketched machines far ahead of their time. Thinkers blended science with art and philosophy. Human beings started seeing themselves not as subjects, but as creators. The Renaissance introduced a new Western value: human potential. The belief that individuals can shape reality, create beauty, and redesign the world around them. 6. The Scientific Revolution. Evidence over authority. In the 1500s, everything changed. Copernicus questioned the structure of the universe. Galileo pointed a telescope at the sky and refused to look away. Kepler found the laws behind planetary motion. Newton unified physics with mathematics. Science stopped being philosophy. It became a method. Observe, measure, test, repeat. The Western mind detached truth from tradition and attached it to evidence. A civilization that values evidence inevitably advances in medicine, engineering, physics, and technology. 7. The Enlightenment. Freedom to think. The Enlightenment added another layer: freedom from arbitrary power. Thinkers argued for freedom of speech, freedom of religion, separation of powers, individual rights, consent of the governed, open criticism of authority. Debate wasn't just an intellectual tool, it became a political right. Governments were no longer unquestionable. People became the center of political life. Number 8. Institutions, the West's real secret weapon. Western success did not come from culture alone. It came from institutions. Courts, contracts, property rights, patent systems, universities, credit markets, scientific academies, independent journals, free press, elections, local governments, merit-based bureaucracy. These systems made innovation predictable, made risk safer, made creativity scalable. Where institutions are strong, people can experiment, fail, try again, and improve. Where institutions are weak, innovation dies. Institutions, not individuals, created long-term Western success. Number 9. The culture of questioning, the West's most distinct trait. Most civilizations discourage criticism. The West embraced it. Western civilization promotes something rare. Question everything. Question religion. Question rulers. Question systems. Question science. Question traditions. Question society itself. This culture of criticism created self-correction, reform, adaptation, progress, innovation, resilience. Civilizations that silence criticism collapse. Civilizations that welcome criticism evolve. The West evolved. Number 10. Global synthesis. Absorbing the world's knowledge. Another reason for Western success is simple. The West borrowed from everyone. Greek logic, Roman law, Christian and Jewish ethics, Islamic astronomy and medicine, Egyptian geometry, Babylonian astronomy. The West didn't grow in isolation. It grew by integrating global intelligence and building stronger systems from it. This synthesis made Western civilization a global processor of ideas. Number 11. Modern Western advantages. Today, the West leads in science, engineering, innovation, universities, research centers, patents, technology, media, military systems, and global institutions. Most major scientific and technological breakthroughs of the last 400 years originated in Western institutions. Not because the West is inherently superior, but because its systems reward progress. Number 12. The West is not perfect, but it adapts. Western civilization caused harm too. Colonialism, war, exploitation, inequality. But its greatest strength is adaptability. It reformed slavery, reformed political power, reformed science, reformed religion, reformed economies, reformed civil rights. A civilization built on evolution, not stagnation. Number 13. Final answer. Why the West succeeded. Western civilization succeeded because it embraced reason over superstition, science over myth, law over rulers, individual rights over authoritarianism, innovation over tradition, competition over monopoly, debate over silence, systems over chaos, curiosity over fear. These values produced democracy, capitalism, universities, scientific progress, engineering breakthroughs, human rights, global innovation. Western success is not a miracle. It is the result of ideas, institutions, and continuous self-correction. And the greatest Western idea, the one that changed the world, is this: truth can be discovered, not declared. That idea built the modern world.